Hey everybody, this is Josh here, the Gray Bearded Green Beret. I'm out here at this all-mill training complex in Lawrence, South Carolina. Really cool place. We're running a wilderness skills course here, and Malcolm from the Hidden Woodsmen sent me an upgrade to my original Alice pack. And everybody knows, of course, with my background, I put a lot of miles in under the Alice pack, and this is a drastic improvement over that. You know, this is nicer material, nicer made. You know, it's not made by the lowest bidder kind of thing. But a lot of great improvements. This is the Tropical Light Ruck Sack, but really good. One of the coolest things I think on the inside is you've got this big orange panel in here, and you would think that that would be for signaling, which I guess you could do, but it's more so that you can see inside there. You know, it kind of reflects that light so you can see inside the contents of your pack. It's really well made. 3 pockets on the outside. What I like about his packs is underneath you've got basically straps for your bedroll, and he's got these straps going through. So, you know, just a really well thought out, well made pack. So I'm going to be running this for a while and field tested it. But it occurred to me, and he also asked me, gets a lot of questions about how to attach it to an Alice frame. So I'm going to show you how I attach it. And of course, this has got a few modifications to a typical Alice pack. So there's a few things that I'm going to show you that I like to do for it and how I would set it up. But to start, what I want to do is get this thing on the frame itself. All right, so you got the pack, you've got a left and a right shoulder strap, you've got the kidney pad, and of course you can either get the frame or you supply the frame. This is my old frame right here. Then I'm just going to put it on a typical Alice frame. So when you first look at this and flip it over, you've got this sleeve up here, and that sleeve fits on the top of here. And you've also got this strap. It's kind of a midway strap. The original Alice has a couple of pins, straps down here that go around here, but this has this kind of about, I don't know, about a third of the way up. So you need to get that kind of out of your way. Take your Alice frame and slide that. Obviously, this is where your kidney pad goes, so that would be up. Slide that into that sleeve. Pull those 2 tabs over, and like I said, it fits about maybe a third of the way, not quite a half of the way up that frame. Find your strap that you took off. Route that through, and when you route that through, you want to make sure and kind of pay attention to where these little teeth are right here. I don't know if you can see those from there, but little teeth right here. The bottom side doesn't have it, all right? Those teeth you need to be able to see once you put it through there. So this is actually upside down. So now when I roll it over, I'll be able to see those teeth, okay? And I'll go underneath this vertical support on the frame. I'm gonna come back under that vertical support after going through here. So now I've got these kind of over the frame. I've routed this under. I can see those teeth right there. Now these buckles work pretty much the same. You've got a lower slot and then an upper slot. So I'll go through the lower slot first, not the part that actually captures the back part of the webbing, the lower slot here, over those teeth that you can see. And then that tightens and locks it in. I don't want this buckle right here because this is going to be in the center of my back. I want the buckle to actually end up underneath that vertical support. So I'm going to take that and tighten it as tight as I can get it, and then route it back underneath there. Still got a little more I can take out of that. And slide that buckle back underneath. That's pretty good there. Might be a little tight. Once I put some stuff in there, then I'll adjust this. It'll be a little tight from the start. I think I'll take a little torque off of that. There we go. I don't want to pull these pockets up over the frame like that. So once I get that full, that's going to be about right. And once I have this tension properly, then what I'll do is roll this stuff up after it's packed. Make sure that tension's good. I'll roll that up, and I'll actually take some 100-mile-an-hour tape or Gorilla tape and wrap that around there and tuck that buckle back underneath here so it's not in the way and not rubbing on my back. But for now, that's how I'm going to leave it. All right, so I've got that on there, the sleeves up here. On the bottom side, these two slots here are actually for a shelf that you can add on here. But what he's done is actually lined up your tightening straps, your cinch straps are actually lined up with those. So what I like to do is take these, and rather than have them route directly through here, these are designed so that if you take this slack out of it, you could slide your sleeping pad or your bedroll on the underside, and then when you tighten it down, it'll cinch it up against the bottom of the pack, which I think is a cool thing. But what I like to do is, in order to hold this back seam to the frame, is I want to actually route this through those slots, then back through here, so that when I tighten it down, it holds that bottom edge and it won't flop around when I'm running. All right, so to do that, on your Fastex buckles, go ahead and leave it buckled. Open up that Velcro keeper, pull you some slack towards the top here, and they're going to kind of shimmy that out of the buckle. And sometimes it takes a little work, but you kind of get one corner out and then the rest of it will come. And you got to make sure that it's loose. That's out. And I like to leave this buckled so you don't actually put it in backwards when you go to reroute it. And of course you don't lose the buckle. Go ahead and pull that out like that. Buckle's still in place. Remember how this is routed. Pull that out. Now I'm actually going to go through that slot to pull that seam tight against the frame and keep it from flopping, but I still want to have the capability to be able to attach my bedroll to the bottom. So now I'm just going to reroute it how it came from the factory, if you will. Then I'm going to go back through my Fastex buckle, top slot, bottom slot. Got to go through the top first, so just find one of the corners, stick it in there, pull that through, make sure there's no twists. Now you're going to go through the bottom, stick a corner in there, get a hold of it, and work it back in. Now I'm actually through here. I've still got the ability to put that on there. Once it's loose, that'll be out like that. Put my bedroll strap in there, strap it right down. I'll do the same thing to the other side real quick. Let you see that again. Remember how that's routed. You can go back that way, pull it out, go through the slot from top to bottom, get them twists out of there. That'll hold it nice. Route it back through. Back through your Fastex buckle, top slot, bottom slot. Make sure there's no twists. And there we go. And once you get this load in here and you get it all cinched down, instead of having these flop around, you can take these, fold out your wings, roll it up like that, and you can close that on itself and it'll keep it so you don't have so much material flopping around. So that's what those are for, but right now it doesn't have a load in. You've also got top straps that you can do the same thing too, so you can kind of center your buckle wherever you want, get rid of that excess, and you're good to go on there. All right, so now I've got it routed through here, routed on the back. and everything's nice and tight. So now all I have to do is put on my shoulder straps and my kidney pad. I'm going to start with the shoulder straps. So you've got a left and right shoulder strap. They start at your collarbone and they'll flare down to your hip bone. So just think of it that way. If you get confused, put your sternum strap together, just buckle that, and it'll be pretty apparent, you know, how they go. Collarbone flares out to the hip bone, obviously the wide part high, narrow part down low. So to get these on after you've identified left and right, what I like to do is pop that Fastex, give myself plenty of slack, and you've got a loop right here. Now that loop goes through this hole in your Alice frame, okay? A lot of folks will put it through there, but that's actually where this, on the original Alice pack, this is down here and goes through there, and there's two separate buckles. So we're not using these at all, we're using the holes here. And you can go from outside to in, it doesn't matter, as long as you do it the same on both sides. Pull it through, and just do kind of a running knot right there, and cinch it up there. Same thing on the other side. We went through inside to out. And pull the tension. And both of my locking bars are on the inside in this case. If you did it the other way, they would just be on the outside. It wouldn't make that much of a difference. Pull those down. For these, you've got very small keepers on the original Alice frame. You've got keepers right here. I think some of the modern upgraded ones don't have these keepers, so it gets a little more tricky, but that's where you want this to route. Lay your shoulder strap on there, top to bottom, go through that keeper. And I'll bring these up to where there's maybe a finger's distance, because I kind of want that, I want my whole shoulder on that. Then you'll go through bottom to top, right? Not counting this slot. That's actually just keeps this keeper on. Go through the bottom, through the top. See, I see the teeth again. Over the teeth. And that locks it in place, about one finger. Clip your buckles. And that shoulder strap is installed. Same thing on the other side. Go through the keeper. Bottom slot first. I can see the teeth there, so I'm going to go over the teeth, back through. I'm going to check to make sure these are equal, and they're good. Put those in. Now my shoulder straps are attached. Last thing I need to put on is the kidney pad. I'm going to get that stuff out of the way. Now, depending on which way you want to unbuckle this, depends on which, because it's basically the same top to bottom. So I like to squeeze with my right hand to take it off. That's just what I'm used to. So that's how I'm going to install it. So it's going to lay on it like this. All right. So fold one side, take those through that big ring. When you take the other side, you can actually just buckle this and get it out of your way. Take the other side without introducing any twist and go through. You got to get that thick, wide webbing in there on both sides. Now, it's going to be a little tricky to film this, but I'll come underneath and show you. The same thing for this, except this time we're going on the underside. We're going to go through the first slot and then through the second. We're going to come under, through the bottom slot. If this is the top of the buckle, that is. Through the bottom slot, back through the second. And once you get some tension on that, it'll hold that tension. it nice and tight. And then you notice I've got more of the wide webbing on this side than here. That means it's not in the center. So I'll try to center those up. Take out any slack that's in there. Okay, same thing for the other one. Go through the bottom of the buckle, the first slot, then go back through the second slot. And crank that tight. If we don't feel right on that one. Yep, okay. Go through the top. I go through the bottom one, out the back, over there, and get that corner. There we go. If you get to where you don't have any tension on it when you pull it tight and it doesn't stay, then you routed it wrong through that buckle, so just double check. Check to make sure your webbing's nice and even. Then with that excess, what you can do is roll that up and just tape that excess up against the buckle, and that'll keep it nice and tight. This kidney pad happens to be the best pillow in the woods, by the way, so there's that. So now your pack is ready to go. Everything's nice and even. The only thing left to do is tape up your excess so it's not flopping around and catching on things and getting loose. But that is how I attach it to. I'm just throw that right on. And when you're putting it on, when it has a load on it, lift it all the way up. Crank your shoulder straps back. And then if it's 35 pounds and above, I'll usually use the waist strap. Keep that centered. Get it nice and tight so it sits on your hips and it distributes the load a lot better. And then hit that sternum strap. A bit too tight. And then make sure your sternum strap is nice and even, and you can actually slide those up and down depending on how you're built, where you like to have it. But just a little bit of tension. You got to maintain the ability to expand your lungs. But that keeps the load tight to your back. You can make adjustments really easily as you go. And that is how you attach the Tropical Light rucksack, and really any rucksack for the most part, to an Alice frame. So take that thing off, slide those out, and you're ready to go. So that's the Tropical Light rucksack from the Hidden Woodsmen. Really appreciate him sending me this. Going to put it through the paces for the next few months, but I can tell already this is a vast improvement over the original Alice pack. Improved straps, improved kidney pad, and just overall improved function for me with that ability to put that bedroll on the bottom. So far I really like this, but if you had any questions on how to attach it to an Alice frame, hopefully that answers it. If not, put the questions below. Thanks for everything you guys do for us. We're going to enjoy ourselves here in South Carolina at the Sawmill Training Academy, teaching wilderness skills, and hope to see you guys in a class in the future. Thanks for watching, and hope to see you in the woods.